During the few weeks I spent along the Yangtze, I kept asking to meet some of the local peasant farmers, but I was continually told that it wasn't possible. Finally, after a lot of pressure, my government-provided guides relented on the condition that I did not interview any of the farmers or discuss anything political. What I found were a poor but contented people, definitely living a life far removed from the artificiality of the new cities, and perhaps the better for it. The peasants make up 90% of the population. It's not an idyllic life. Poor, oppressed, tormented by corrupt officials. The traditional farmers of China have borne the brunt of the hardships endured by the Chinese over the past century. People like Lao Jiang are the lifeblood of China. They feed the nation, pay its taxes, provide its leaders. Deng Xiaoping, Mao Zedong, Zhu Rongzhi were all children of peasants. Indeed, it's been the peasants' unquestioning loyalty to the system that has kept China intact for so many thousands of years. Just as the peasants of China have always done, the farmers here in Bai Shui farm the land using horticultural techniques that are both very ancient but highly efficient, such as creating microclimates and interplanting. They use these to increase their own yield, which of course increase their income in turn. In fact, looking around, it looks more like gardening than what we now call farming. The standard of living among Chinese farmers has increased dramatically in recent years. Every village can show you the latest family to have moved from an old mud shack to a new concrete house, or who have bought a new motorbike, or whose son has moved to the city and struck it rich. Chinese peasants produce abundant food for the entire 1.3 billion population. And when you consider that only 1/10 of Chinese land is arable, that is an incredible feat. The secret to it all is this: soil, which in fact is loaded with copious amounts of the farmer's own human manure. There are over 1 billion peasant farmers in China, making them the single largest disenfranchised group in the world. And while some of the recent reforms have benefited the peasants, it's not coming fast enough for many. During the past decade, there have been peasant protests throughout the country. Tiananmen Square was not an isolated occurrence. The peasants are beginning to demand basic rights, and the Chinese government is finally admitting that it must do something for them. But to empower the peasants could mean the end of China as we know it, as it will entail a direct challenge to the Confucian-inspired feudal model of centralized control.